Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Life Listening, raw transmissions from pockets of pause in my day to day life. I am your companion and space keeper for this moment, Asha Tanae, and I was sitting with another way to pray confession. Now, I did not grow up Catholic, but recently I've had a shift in my household. A family member has come to stay with us. And let's just say that the transition for me has been not the easiest. I find that that I, some of the traits that I deem cringiest in a person, this family member has. And the level of disorientation, agitation, being activated, set off, snappy, all of that. That level was literally off the Richter scale. It's hilarious to think about it. I was literally having a full adult tantrum without even knowing that that's what it was happening. And I acted pretty ugly in some ways. I made some snappy comments, and I feel like I was acting ugly because I understood where some of these traits came from. I knew that they weren't out of malice. I know there was no ill intent. And the family member was genuinely trying to make a connection with me, that a part of me was literally laying on the floor, screaming, kicking, crying, like, I don't want you here. So there ain't nothing that we can do, you know? And I had to really work on, I don't even like using the word work on. I had to really start noticing my own shit, real talk. And one of the ways that I did that was one time I said something sideways, and it was slight. It wasn't anything major, but I said something that basically articulated an expectation of very little from my family. And as soon as I said it, it felt nasty. It felt mean, even though to an objective ear, it might not have been. In my spirit, I could feel there was a streak of meanness in it. Um, and although I have since come to an awareness of what that's even about, that's a whole different way to pray. What I realized is after my family member proved me grossly wrong, proved that part of me, that mean part of me wrong, I had to really sit with myself and be like, what's going on here? And I couldn't just keep it to myself. Suddenly, I felt the need to let others who I trusted, safe people, know that this part of me had reared its head, because it shocked me as soon as it came out my mouth and I felt that like ickiness inside. I was shocked at myself. And I felt this need to tell it to my closest, trusted loved ones, to acknowledge I saw this, not to be down on myself, but literally just to be like, I saw this really fucked up part of myself. And it was real icky and real nasty and real stinky. And to just have it witnessed, I really wasn't looking for advice or a solution. But what I found was grace when I exposed the part of me that had been hidden all this time, or that I refused to see all this time. When I showed that in the light of those that loved me, I felt the presence of a grace come in a way that, had I like done the routine, get on my knees, clasp my hands, and try to do a formal prayer, it just, it was different. It's like I was speaking, communing with the divine through my loved ones. And I realized that that's sometimes what's needed. And I understood for the first time the medicine in confession. It's not that we're so awful in my opinion. It's not that we're so awful and so sinful and so bad that we got to tell this person who's not all of those things so they can absolve us. But it's that in the sharing of what's on our heart, we realize how even this is so small compared to the divine grace that is waiting to envelop us when we come in with, like, basically coming in with our ugly parts and exposing them, sharing them in the safe spaces is akin to a child, like, running up with a scraped knee after doing something that they knew better than to do, or they were advised against doing, or they had a feeling they shouldn't be doing. Um, it gives them a chance to be, it gives it a chance for the love that is always there to be fortified and echoed. And so in the confessions, I found an echo. And in that echo, I found myself in direct communion and conversation and exchange and dialogue with the divine by being swaddled in a spirit of in an energy and a feeling of grace. And it was so sweet. So if there's anything on your heart, the uglier the better, and you have a safe space to unpack it, I'd be interested in what your experience has been with confession, what it is to you, and if you've never done it, how it feels to unzip yourself in a space where you can trust that love will be there. Yeah, that's all for now. Take good care.